Hi, my name is Khan. Hoping you all are doing good. In this part 4, I will be talking about constraint, mostly focusing on unique and default constraint. So let us start. Unique constraint. It enforces uniqueness of a column. When we create unique constraint, it also creates a non-clustered index by default. We will talk about this non-clustered index and cluster index in the upcoming parts. While primary key creates cluster index. So you can ask me, the primary key also does the same thing. It does not allow to create multiple same records. So why can't we use primary key? The answer is we need to use primary key only once for a table. If we want the column to be unique, one or more column to be unique, we will be going to use unique constraint. And also the primary key does not allow null value while the unique key allow only one null value. Let us see how to create unique key constraint. To create a unique key constraint, first I will select the table, customer table, select all from customer table, and I'll run this query. So you can see that here ID, primary key is ID. What I will do is here I will add a email column next to the salary column so that we can assign unique key for some column. So I will alter the table, alter table, table name, customer is the table name, so I'll type customer and alter add column, add column, and the column name will be email, and the data type for the column name will be varchar 20. So I'll make this not null and I'll run this query. So I'm after adding salary. So I'll run this query. Okay, my query ran successful. So now I will select the customer table and I'll add the data manually. Select all from the customer, run this query. The email column has been created and I will enter the data manually. Okay, you can see that I have entered all the data in the email column. Now I will add the unique constraint to this email column. So before if I add before adding the data, if I add unique constraint, it will give me error value because all the entire column contains null value. So it avoids the criteria for unique constraint. So what I did was after adding the data, I am setting this email column to a unique constraint. So set unique constraint, I'll alter the data, either the label customer and I'll the constraint name, and the constraint which I am using here is unique on email, and I'll run this query. You can see that query run successful. Okay, so let me select the customer table and I will add a demo data. Let us see. Okay, I'll add the seventh row, seventh record. Let King be the name here, and salary be 20,000. Let what I will do, I will copy upper email ID khan@gmail.com and I'll leave this gender null. Let us see what happens. So if I run this query, okay, everything looks fine. Let us run, apply. So the foreign key does not allow me to enter a value because the null value is not present in the gender table. So the customer table is referring the gender table, but there is no null value. So the foreign key is not allowing me to enter. Suppose if I enter 1, the foreign key criteria has came down. Now the another criteria came duplicate. This criteria for uniqueness, unique constraint. So that how to, because the Khan and Khan as khan@gmail.com as are available twice. So if I change it to king@gmail.com and if I run this query, the query runs successful. You can see that. Yeah. Default constraint. It fill up a column with a default value if no value is provided while inputting the data. And also, if I intentionally provided a null value, then the null value is inserted to the table. Let us see how to create a default constraint. Okay, to create a default constraint, what I will do here is I will select the customer table. I'll select the gender table and I'll run this query. I will enter the ID 3 and I'll assign a value unknown. Since this is gender column is a single character where data type, I'll enter the U and I'll run this query. Apply. I will confirm everything is in good. Yeah, apply. So after the query is run successful, what I will do is I'll select both the gender and the customer table. Select all from customer. And now I'll run this query. So you can see that there is no number 3 in here. So what I will do here is if I'll alter the table and I'll set number 3 if a null value is provided or not a null value if no value is provided to the gender column. If null value is provided, it will enter the null value. Okay. If no value is provided, then only it will enter the number 3. So set default 3 and I'll run this query. So now if I select the customer table and enter the data manually and I will not provide any value to the gender column, let us see what happens. So I have selected the customer table. I am entering the 8th record and name will be Queen and the salary will be 15,000 and let the email be queen@mail.com. So now if I run this query, I am not providing any value for the gender. So okay, everything's look great. Now if I run this query, let us see what happens. Okay, everything's look good. Okay, apply. Query run successful. Finish. Okay. Now you can see that 3 value has been automatically assigned. Thank you. I hope you guys have enjoyed. In case you have any doubt, please comment it below or please feel free to contact to my email ID.